Okay, Muscoy duck group. This is these are my lame brain theories on why I believe that eggs hatched in an incubator, particularly a small styrofoam one, have less success than mama does. I consider the factors that I read on the internet on what improved hatch rate. This was reducing the humidity, increasing the air circulation, not using an air turner, misting the eggs, and turning them only once a day. Okay, the only thing that I could see personally, which you know I'm probably wrong, is the only thing that would make sense is if this egg in the final stages started to produce its own heat. Now, Muscoy duck eggs are a little bit different. They are in here longer. They have a longer incubation period, and I don't know that the embryo does not have a high metabolic rate during the last part of its gestation period. So I'm thinking that this egg, when the humidity is high, you imagine the egg is inside of the egg turner, inside of a little egg turner, styrofoam egg turner. Normally what people do is they keep the plugs closed to keep the humidity up to 80%. The thing stays real wet, has no air circulation. Okay, if this egg is inside there and it's making its own heat, particularly if its heat is around 100 degrees, it's not going to be able to shed that heat because of the humidity around it and because of no air circulation. So a small incubator is going to be worse because you can raise the humidity quicker, and it's easy to seal it up to where it doesn't have no leaks in it. Just a plug on the top, the rest of it seals pretty good. Now, as far as misting the egg, I think that would only probably help it cool down, and only if you had the humidity low enough to allow some evaporation off of it. Now, the other part of my lame brain theory here is, you know, these are waterfowl, but they're found in South America too, in places where it's not necessarily so humid. And you know, the Muscovies can live in trees, live and nest in trees. They're not necessarily like ducks, exactly like ducks. So if you lay this egg, if a Muscovy lays it and sits on it, more or less the top of it's going to be the right temperature. But the bottom of the egg, I believe, could be cooler depending on the nest. If this was true, then the embryo would have the ability to remove heat from the bottom of the egg down into the nest or into whatever was cooler. You know, I don't have no proof. I wish I could measure it. But if this was true, in order for it to remove heat from the bottom, it would have to constrict its blood vessels on top and expand them on the bottom, or at least turn itself into a position where it could benefit from a cooler area if it was overheating. Now, if you put it in an egg turner and turn it like this, it doesn't have a chance. If you turn it too often, it's not going to have a chance to do that. If you leave it there and don't turn it very much, especially in the last part of the gestation period, that's when the embryo deaths are seen. So those are my lame brain theories. And what I'm going to do in my incubator, little styrofoam thing known to kill these eggs, is I'm going to keep the humidity real low. I'm even going to let it run out of water in between times. I'm going to leave the air circulation vents open, and I am turning these only once a day by hand. And when I turn them, I mist them, and I don't really worry about getting the lid back on real quick. That's probably not important until the last part of the gestation. So I mean, I haven't figured out exactly what I do, but I know I'm not going to cook this egg inside the incubator if that's the case. I'm also keeping a daily log on weight loss of the embryos, or the eggs. So far, you see, what is this, the third day? It's kind of hasn't really lost very much weight, even though the humidity's been real low. I don't know if my scale's not accurate or it seems to just bounce up and down and stay more or less the same. But I'm sure that within another couple of days I'll know more about it.